Hello and welcome. Thank you all for coming by. I really appreciate you. Oh, absolutely. Please like, share, and subscribe. The Goddess Tulsa Show. Welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now is the time to go ahead and get ready for the show. We have some great news for you. Okay? We're going to have a great time. So I really appreciate you and your dedication to showing up. Gratitude. Don't be afraid to hit that cash app. And don't forget to smash that like button. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I hope everybody is doing amazing tonight. Really, I do. Okay. And listen here, before we just jump right into the show, I want to say if you're a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for your loyalty. So tonight we are going to talk about Nosey Ho and Sharrell. And actually Jennifer Hugh, the lady that was you know, abused by Kenneth Petty. We're actually going to be talking about her as well. Let's get some housekeeping out the way. Ebony M says, hello, everyone. Please hit the like button. Sonia says, hello. Okay, so I'll just drop the link because I don't think this will be a crazy long live, but just in case, let's just go ahead and get that on out there. Okay, so I was watching Nosey Ho's live today, right? And she had Sharrell's World on there, she had Jag on there, and then she had Jennifer on there. And there were a few things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I want to say this. I'm never going to discount a survivor's story. Let's just say that. For two, I feel like we're all adults and we know how we should behave. And that's, upstanding citizen, right? But what I didn't understand, oh wow, thank you, Sonia. We got a super sticker. Okay. Money. I've got, you know what? I've got to make I've got to make a commercial for that. Whenever you do something nice like that, you're gonna get that. Oh my God. Thank you so much, my love. So I was watching a video and this woman, Jennifer Huff, she had come up, she was telling her story, and pretty much I kind of felt like Sharrell was kind of digging in too deep. Because you got to think about this. The wombs are starting to freshen back up, right? Every time you talk about the situation, your wombs reopen. And Sharrell asked the woman, well, you said that you changed. How did you change? Well, in my opinion, when somebody says, oh, I changed, heck, I'm thinking like, their whole lifestyle, just being comfortable or being safe, all that changes when you have been violated, right? And then there were some more things that she went on to say. She was expressing herself, and Jaguar, right, kind of cut her off a few times. That part I didn't like because if you are a survivor and you're there to tell your story, I suggest please don't interrupt the individual that's telling their story, because when you make those small interruptions and while they're talking, then they lose those emotions, because they were just in a vulnerable place. But now you have them bagging up and, now they're about to suppress some of those feelings. That's my opinion. If somebody's trying to express themselves and they've been victimized, let them get it out. Don't interrupt them. Don't do nothing, because at that time, that's a time of healing for them. That's a time for them to feel great. That's a time for them to feel heard. Let me see if I can actually find the video. Let me see if I can find the video, and then I could just do commentary on it. But I'll let you guys know what I'm talking about, because it was just like, oh my god, like, can she talk? Like, can she just have this? You know? Okay, I think this is the live. Okay, so yeah, she brought Sharrell on. Yeah, this is the live. Because she was on there, and Jaguar Wright was just giving her, she was giving commentary, and then she was also talking about some things that happened in her life. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I'm not gonna show the visual because I'm not trying to get flagged, child. Okay. Yes, Sonya says thanks for the view, likes, and the views. We really appreciate you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and play this commentary right quick.
My ass, and why she teamed up with Nicki Minaj to come after me?
Well, I mean, this seems to be the never-ending story. That's just what it seems to be with her. She's always trying to look for ways to discredit people that actually have facts on her. And she's been doing this to you. She's been doing it to me. She's been doing it to everybody.
Okay. I get what the ladies are saying. Okay, the Nicki Minaj situation, right? You can talk about the case without mentioning her. Why don't you keep your focus and your attention on the people that were involved? Yes, I get that was Nicki Minaj's, that's her husband. I get it. They're one now. But they weren't one when Kenneth started, that situation with Jennifer. Nicki and him were not together. So why are you continuing to run after this woman? She's a celebrity. Go after Kenneth Petty. Just make your content about him. That's just my opinion. Nosy Ho is really digging into this, and she's like really stirring the pot with that woman. Only thing I'm saying is keep your attention on this is what he did. Keep your eyes on the facts. Keep driving the facts, because when you start to put her in, then it becomes this is more about her, and now it's a war with you and her. But we'll continue. Here, give me 1 second.
This is nothing new. It's just disgusting that you'll sit there and you'll go after people who are actual victims. You'll go after people who are actual survivors, knowing that there's facts, knowing that there's proof, and you just keep running your mouth. Just running your mouth just for the sake of running your mouth. It's unfair to you. It's unfair to me. It's definitely unfair to Jen, and it's unfair to everybody else's life who she's trying to ruin.
Okay, but this is my thing. Everybody's trying to give Nicki Minaj trying to give her the worst of the situation, when Nosy Ho has mermaids that will sit up and troll you. All right, we got a guest in the building. Shout out to Sonya. Hey, Sonya, welcome to the show.
What's going on?
And nothing much. And thank you for that super sticker, girl. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So listen, what are your thoughts and your opinions on Nosy Ho, Sharrell, Nicki Minaj, Kenneth Petty? I mean, the list goes the list goes on and on. Like, it just seems like it's never going to stop.
Hello?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I've been watching that Jennifer thing since the beginning. I think it's been about a year ago. And What it was, when he moved to California, he didn't register in that state. So you don't register, they coming for you.
Oh yeah.
That's how she got brought into that, because before all that happened, she was minding her business, doing what she was doing. After that, that's when the fans started digging up information on her. So that made her come out, because they were threatening her family and everything else. And my thing was, if he would have arrested, none of this stuff would have happened. Then they said Nicki Minaj got on her radio show. It made it seem like, the girl pulled Emmett Till, made it seem like the woman was white. And she lied on her husband. That's when Jennifer came out. No, this is me. I'm not a white woman. I'm a black woman. Nicki got herself involved into that. So say, that between her and her husband, yeah. But Nicki put herself in there and said the girl was lying. She been on her since she was 15 years old. My thing is, can't nobody say that young lady lied about anything, because we wasn't there.
Exactly.
So it started getting out justice for Jennifer, and it started gaining traction. And then Jag talked to Jennifer behind the scenes, because she used to have, I don't know if she still got this group, but she have like survivors, like a group, and we all get on and talk about what we went through. She actually does that. I don't know if she still does it now. I know she did. And
but let me ask you this.
She grew up in the industry. Huh?
But let me ask you this. Okay, I get that, you're all for standing up for survivors. But do you see where I guess some people have an issue with Nosey Hope is because I feel like with her covering these stories, like she's in the wrong. And I said this before, she needs to go apply for somebody's police department because I feel like how like that's your niche, like find something that you're good at, and hers is uncovering stories. So my thing is, if you have a channel uncovering stories, I think that'll be her lane. I feel like we are passionate, and us as Black women, when we are passionate about certain things and we are invested in it, and it becomes like, we are rage, but it's not we're rage at somebody, is we are in rage of the fact that it happened, the fact that nobody did nothing, and where's the justice? So
He went to jail for it. He went to jail for it and did his time. He did go to jail for that, but he was arrested for life, for a sex offender for life. And they wanted her to go tell the judge, the DA, that she lied. She had the FBI, the marshals, and everything else protecting her. I don't know if any of that going on now, but I know back then it was happening. She been on talk shows and everything. So it ain't her. It's like her fans. It's the ones that's been threatening her. Like anybody, I would say anybody that go against Nicki, her fans is coming for you.
But let me ask you this. Do you think Nicki's fans are doing the same thing as the mermaids? Because I want to make this clear. You have two women that have a following, and if they say something, their subscribers, their followers are acting on it. So do you think that they are kind of the same because they both have followings?
Oh, no. Oh, that's different. Now I say like the mermaid sharks and starfish and all them people, they like go and like look for receipts and stuff like that. Before it's like Nicki fans go, they ruthless. They are ruthless. I mean, they beat up Mariah Lynn, the girl that's on Love and Hip Hop New York. Yeah. I heard they beat her mama up.
Beat her mom up?
Yes. Those fans are cutthroat crazy.
Oh
And I'm
wow.
in two different types of friends.
Right.
Baby, I say, Lord, Jesus, they beat the girl mama up. Wow.
Well, I can believe it because when you talk about that, look at Krishan. She beat up her boyfriend's mom, Blueface, beat up his mom. Like,
And
what is
sister.
and sister? But like really, where do you think people where do you think people get that from? Like to be programmed. I mean, to be that's what you call programming. You have these
Music.
people music.
Music.
Mm,
Because no, like we was coming up, I like the artists like that. I'm old school. I like the
uh-huh.
hip hop. Like Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, all them when they first came out, or like Queen Latifah, MC Light, Salt and Pepper and stuff like that. I grew up during that time.
Yeah.
And I like them, but I was never that crazy about them at all. Like I'm gonna go out there and put my life on the line on me in jail or unalive for this person. That wouldn't care to come get me out or come over there, come out there. No, for what? No thank you. I ain't got nothing against nobody that's out today. I just don't listen to that type of music, I would say.
Right.
I don't.
Now let me ask you this. when Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, so Nosy Ho has been on Sharrell's panel, and it seems like Sharrell, just because her and Nosy are cool, she disregards a lot of things that Nosy does. And this is my thing. I'm a mother, I have children, and I just can't see myself online, just going in on somebody's kids, just tearing off into them like a steak that just came out of the dang on kitchen. I just can't do that. So what do you say to people that have negative things to say about kids, and just because they don't want them, they don't have any compassion? What are your thoughts on someone like that?
Uh, I didn't want kids, but my thing is sometimes kids it just be a casualty of war. I would say because I'm that person. I'm a clown you your whole family tree down to your pet dog, but that's just me. Now she did come back and apologize and said, she admitted that she was wrong. She could have kept the son out of that. She admitted that she was wrong for that. I'm the type of person. I'm ready to fight you and your kid. I'm sorry, but that's just me. I can't speak for everybody, but that's just me. It's like, yeah, I'm getting help for that. Like, my niece had told me some little girl tried to hit her on her eye, try to give her a black eye. I think my niece is 5. I think the little girl about 7, 8 years old. And the
Mm-hmm.
first thing came out of my mouth is where her mama at and where she at. I fight kids too. I'm gonna beat you and your mama up if you put your hands on her. I wouldn't care. But that's just how I think. I'm trying to find a different way. But these kids nowadays are bad. They 5, 6 years old bringing, weapons to school or alcohol to school. Like, what we doing?
Yeah, I guess
So
my
she
thing.
admit that she was wrong for that. She did say she apologized. She didn't have to bring her son into that. She could have kept it with the adults. But ever since Jennifer been on her platform, they are harassing her too.
Well, see, that's the thing right there.
She saw her out. Jennifer went to her. She didn't go find her. She came to her and wanted to get the side of her story, like what really happened out, I would say. Because people were making up stuff. So she wants to come out and tell her truth on what really happened.
Right. But this is the thing that I have with Nosy is, and I'm gonna move on here in a little bit, but I really want to focus on this. It's like, okay, I have a platform and this is where we have fun. We shoot the mess, we do it all. But I refuse to have somebody on my panel that's sitting up here talking about kids and just going in on them. And if I ask them, like, hey, like lay off of it, and they just keep on. And it's like, I feel like when that happens, you don't have respect for the person that you call your friend.
Was she on that other girl channel talking about kids?
Yeah. I mean, she was going in.
When was this?
This was a while. This was, I want to say, when it freshly started.
I don't know who Sharrell is. I never heard of her or watched her channel. So I can't speak on it because I don't know who that person is.
Mm. Well, you know what? So how do you feel about well, let me ask you this. Here, let me see. Because they added her up. Now I want you to get into this conversation. This is Jennifer. She comes up, but I guess just check out the panel and the questions that they're going to ask her. Here we go.
She wasn't going on attack on social media, attacking them or saying anything about them. I don't know why y'all her fans when her husband did this to me. None of that happened.
She sure didn't. That woman didn't even say anything until she was contacted after he was arrested. She didn't say anything until she was contacted because his ass was arrested for not registering in California. She wasn't running her mouth. And
all right, so Sonia, that's pretty much what you were just updating me on. He went to California. Yeah. He didn't, register.
Uh-huh.
So let me ask you this. So anytime he doesn't register, is she notified?
No, it's not that. Like, if you're like a registered offender,
Mm-hmm.
if you move, like, wherever you move, whatever address you go, you would have to let them know, hey, this is where I live. If you do not, that go against your probation, parole, whatever. They can't lock you up for that. Especially if you go to another state or you the same state, like in Texas, you move from like one side, like from South Dallas, North Dallas, you gotta let the people know where you live at, so they know if something happened in that neighborhood, they're gonna come to you first.
Right. So they can like update their registry. So you do that so they can update the registry. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So he knew this, right? He knew that he was supposed to do this any and every time that he was. Okay, so I feel like the pressure should be on him.
Yeah, but they blame her.
But that's the thing. My thing is, instead of, let's just forget Nikki was his husband. I mean, her husband, whatever. Let's just forget that they were even married. Let's bring the attention on him. We should say, hey, if she's trying to help, let's get a petition. We need to, they shouldn't have the issue. If they violate that, it should be up to the victims to have an input on what happens.
Nope, they don't. My thing is this, that when he didn't, he got in trouble for that. Nicki Minaj people, husband people who are people, contacted her and told her to go to the DA in New York and say that you lied on him so they can drop them charges. No, once the DA picking them charges up, ain't no dropping. I'm sorry, it's not. She can go call and drop them charges. It's gonna run past the DA. If the DA pick that up, ain't nothing you can do about that at all. Where in Texas you can't. Like, say for instance, I go, like, my boyfriend beat me up. I don't want to press charge. The state can pick that up.
Oh yeah.
I gotta
And
like,
you
okay,
want
my ex.
Sonya, you want to know
I
why
was
they started doing that?
why?
Because women abusing that 911, they get their, oh, it was nothing, it was just a small. And so that's why now they say if they are being called out, somebody has to go.
Oh no.
Somebody.
Can I go like me? Okay, like me and my ex, we was together for like 10 years. Granted, he never hit me, and not once, but it was more like mental, not physical. I had to go down to the DA office because he called the police on me every 5 seconds. They were steady coming out. They got a report. He stabbed himself and told the police I did it. They came looking for me, but I wasn't there. So I had to go down to the courthouse, to the precinct and everything. And I had a rap sheet long. He threatened me in front of the police. That's how bad it got. I never pressed charges against him. The state did that. And the police that heard him threaten me, they pressed charges on him. When he got locked, every time you get locked up, them charges the state got against him is automatic coming up. He gonna tell me, why don't you go down there and drop them charges? I'm like, what charges? I didn't press charges on you. What are you talking about? The state did that. Ain't nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry. It's nothing I can do at all.
So
what
not
you want
even
me to go say? You can do it?
yeah,
Nope.
so wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But
Nothing
yeah,
she can do or say because the state snatched it. Then he went pled guilty on that. She can go. It's like she can go and tell the DA, "Oh, I lied." The state picked that up. What
but
you want
listen,
the state to do?
so listen, if she says that she lied, wouldn't they like file charges against her because that's a crime?
They probably could, but statute of limitations probably over with by now. I don't know about New York, but the state picked that up. If she said she lied, he still pleaded guilty and went to jail. What can they do?
Well,
They're not gonna
see,
drop charges
and let's
at
just say
all.
this, Sonya, he pled, I think he pled guilty to attempted. So he had a
Yeah.
plea deal. So this is the thing a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people don't understand is when you take a plea deal, you're
Mm-hmm.
taking, like a lesser charge or something like that. Like you're copping out to something that they said, okay, you do this and you get this amount of time, rather than you going through a jury and not knowing exactly how much time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That's deep.
So
But then,
really, there's nothing she can do to get them charges off him. It's a wrap on that.
look at this,
Sorry.
because I've heard the conversation where they said, I think we all know this, being black, and if you don't have the money to fight cases, then you're pretty much
Mm-hmm.
effed. But I feel like
Yep.
if the truth is the truth, the truth shall set you free.
But she said that he did order her. He just took a plea deal for attempted, but she said that he actually did. And then some other girl came on and said that I don't know whose channel this was, talking about she knew the girl and that she went over there, possibly having, relations with one man, and then turned around 13 more. I guess 13 more came in the building or whatever. So basically blaming the victim for what happened to her, I would say.
Yeah, and then before we listen to some more of this audio, I want to say this. It's just so sad that black women in general, black women in general just have to give you every freaking detail for a person to believe them. Hey, I'm assaulted. I was hurt. If you don't believe me, just point me in a direction. Let's get some law enforcement involved. Let's get the people involved that can help. But girl, we're gonna go ahead and play this audio. Huh?
They did. They gave her resources to help for helping everything else. That happened.
All right, let's get into it.
And if I was her and Nicki Minaj is reaching out to me, wanting me to, do them a favor or whatever for her husband, I would fucking say something too, because y'all ain't about to fucking try to retaliate against me because I won't do it. She should. I don't know why people think she was supposed to be quiet. Fuck them people. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, welcome.
Hey, Nosey. Hey, Jag. Hey, Sharrell.
Hey, is that Jen?
Yeah. Hey, love.
I love your voice. You got the.
So that's Jennifer. That is the victim of the Kenneth Petty. Just for those that are just coming in.
The sweetest voice in the world. Hey, Mama.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm doing okay.
I've been praying for you.
Thank you.
Every day I've been praying for you. I've been praying for your kids. The last time I heard you come and talk, when that whole thing resurfaced, I was so hurt. I was so hurt for you. I was just so hurt.
Yeah. They really put that chopped and screwed ass shit out there. Right? And then I'm sued 2 weeks later. Child, this is
I remember.
But I remember too when Sharrell was trying to tell Nosey to stop saying that she wanted a lawsuit. Nosey said, I don't give a damn. She said, let her do it. And so now that's where we are. Jennifer is about to give some unfiltered details, and I want you guys to really pay attention to them.
It seems like it was just yesterday, even though it was, going on 2 years now. But I was a completely different person at the time when I reached out to Nosey. For all the people that don't know, I'm the one that reached out to Nosey. I don't know how she got a hold of my video, but she did, and she left a comment in the chat. And for me, who did I didn't grow up having people speak for me or speak up for me or things like that. So to have a total stranger like, yo, I'm gonna speak about this on my channel, I thought was really, really huge. And
shout out to Nosey for seeking this girl out and getting the real unfiltered story. And Sebastian told us yesterday, focus on, what's going on and not the person. So I'm trying to transition my mind to just focus on that part and leave my emotions out of it. Hold on, let me see what you said.
Read, but keep to yourself.
Okay, I got you. We gonna continue.
And I didn't want her to put herself out there. I didn't know much about YouTube. I didn't want to put herself out there without showing her who I was. So I got a hold of her email, and I started sending her just about everything that I had. Screenshots, text messages, phone calls, just whatever I had, just because I didn't want something like this to happen. I was real cautious about how I spoke. I was cautious about, how I had initially spoke out because, not that I was looking at Nicki Minaj like she was bigger than me. But in the world that she lives in compared to the world that I live in, I didn't want them problems. You know what I mean?
So listen, this gets really deep. I have somewhat of a similar situation, but it wasn't the artist. It was his, and this isn't the artist, but it was a artist manager. And I remember it like it was yesterday. Going to this person's home And I knew it was his home because I had seen it on, you know, MTV Cribs. I don't know if you guys know about that show, but MTV, they had a show where, you know, the celebrities, they'd be like, okay, come check out my crib or welcome to my crib. Um, and I saw it on MTV Cribs before, and then after, you know, I got myself into a situation. There I go blaming myself. I ended up in a situation, and yeah. But I wonder if I had spoke out, would anybody have believed me? No, because they're gonna say, "Oh, this person is straight," and you know, da 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 da. Da. You know, it was a lot. But enough of me. Let's hear Jennifer.
Me, and I didn't want the problems of the people that she worked for, or anybody that she was associated with. And I'm like forever in Nosey's debt. You know what I mean? Because it was Nosey, and I know a lot of people may not be able to handle a woman like Nosey, and the truth that she speaks, the way that she says it. But if it wasn't for Nosey, if it wasn't for the mermaids and the sharks and the constant encouragement and the constant support that I received, there's no way I would be where I am.
Wow. So shout out to Nosy and shout out to Jennifer for speaking up and finding that courage. And I would say we all, um, if we all can include her into our prayers tonight before we go to bed, just for healing and strength and just, you know, wisdom and, you know, protection, you know. Sonya, you said it earlier. You said the barbs, they are just unhinged and just loose, just out of control.
Yep.
All right. Let's listen to Jenny.
Personally, mentally, physically, a lot. So I'm like forever grateful.
You said that you changed from then to now. How?
Um,
See that question right there.
mhm.
it was at that damn moment right there. You say you changed how? Well, hell, not for the better. I mean, it changed my world. It changed, I now that spoke out, my world changed. Now I'm even more in anxiety. Now I'm more, it's like it doesn't take a rocket scientist to answer that question. But we're gonna let her answer it.
Well, then what happened to me was something that only my family knew. It wasn't something that my friends knew. It wasn't something that I had, discussed with people and talked about. It wasn't something like, it just was something I carried with me. And I'm 44. So people from my generation and older than I am, if any of you have ever experienced any type of child molestation, fondling, anything like that within the household, you were taught. I mean, even if you wasn't told, like per se, like you just knew that this didn't leave home. It wasn't, it was something that was always swept under the rug. It was something like, well, if I keep you away from this person, then it can't happen anymore. But the issue never got addressed. So it was something that was happening at home to me already. And when
Wow. That's deep to already be traumatized and already be put through um what some people would call hell. And wow, that's a lot and that's deep. We need to have conversations with our children.
and it happened with him, instead of me running home to tell, I ran to school. and told. Because I knew if I went home, like, I wouldn't be able, like, nothing would get done. And I didn't want his friends to feel like they had the right to do it also. So before, when I would talk about it, I couldn't get the word in without crying. I'm still kind of nervous now, like my palms are sweaty, and, you know, I always get nervous, like, talking and stuff, but I know I sound different, and I feel different when I speak about it. I have been in counseling, so that has helped also. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff I learned tuning in to Nosey. You know, I wasn't raised by my biological white mother, and I was raised by a Black family. I'm biracial. My dad is.
Wow. So biracial woman. Wow. This happened to her. And she said it was happening to her at home. So it's like, oh my God, I just teared up because it's like nobody knows anybody's story. And a lot of us wear what we call mask. It appears that everything is okay. It appears that nothing traumatic happened in our lives. You have people walking around with trauma, and some are better at covering it up than others. Let's be mindful when we are out here and engaging with different people, because you don't know where people come from, you don't know their story, and you don't know what their current situation is. But let's get into it.
Black and my mom is white, but I wasn't raised by either one of my parents. I was raised by the woman who raised my mother. So it wasn't like I wanted to come on, you know, anybody's platform to talk bad about the family who raised me and gave me a home. But a lot of what Nosey would speak about the older Black women is something I experienced growing up. You know what I mean? Where I was taught, I was praised in having a boyfriend at a young age versus, you know, going to school to get an education, to, you know, become something. It was more.
Let's pause it right there. We have guests. We have Couture Bay in the house. Hello and welcome.
Hey.
Girl. Listen, we are talking about Sharrell and Nosey, but we're also discussing Jaguar and Jennifer. Did you catch that interview today on Nosey's channel?
I did not, because I do not tune into Nosey Ho because.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you why I did, because I saw Sharrell over there. And I was like, let me see what's going on. And so Sharrell is on a panel. Jaguar Wright eventually comes up, and then eventually Jennifer comes up. And so right now we're in the video where Jennifer is being vulnerable and pretty much giving intimate details of what happened. And she also expressed to the audience that, you know, she was being molested in the home first. And she, instead of going home to tell, she went to school to tell, because nothing would get done at home. So that's kind of where we are in the video. Did you want to say hello to the people, let them know who you are, and, you know, we can jump right back into it?
Hey, I'm Couture Bay. I'm out in San Antonio. I'm a content creator as well, but I'm not here to promote me. I'm here to support Queen Tulsa.
All right, my sister. Listen here, you're going to promote yourself before the end of this video. Let's listen.
Okay.
About the kind of man that I should be looking for. I grew up in a Black household, being biracial, it being an issue that I was biracial and that I looked the way that I did, but I wasn't allowed to date Black boys.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So was a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying, that I had went through growing up. So, you know, watching Nosey, tuning into her, the way, like the force that came with Nosey when, you know, she spoke about women who were victims, it empowered me. You know what I mean? And I didn't look at myself like I had strength. I didn't look at me speaking out as strength. It was more about survival for me.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. Mm-hmm. You feel stronger now. What would you recommend to somebody that's been through what you've been through and walking around with that? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, let's say somebody's watching this and they don't know how to heal.
Well, I'm still working on. Yeah. I'm still working on the healing.
Okay, so just I gotta stop it right there. What do y'all think about that question?
If she's not healed, she shouldn't be on YouTube. That's just how I personally feel about it. And I also feel like, and I don't want to sound harsh, and it's not because I like Nicki Minaj or I do content like that. I just strictly feel from a professional who's dealt with SA, things of the nature, she should go seek professional help because they're using her for a click and a view, and she knows that. And I can't, in my mind, believe she doesn't get that and I don't want to use exploit. I don't like that word.
Sis, listen here. At the Queen Tulsa show, this is your time. This is your moment. So get it.
I feel like Sharrell doesn't care. Nosey Ho definitely doesn't care. And I'm going to say why. Nosey Ho put those types of thoughts in the atmosphere about a content creator I'm cool with, and he had receipts proving he didn't do that, but because she has a strong demographic of Black women who've been hurt in a certain situation, they just believe it. And I feel like we can't be so blind to support even the common man, because a lot of people are just doing it because they need the money. They don't have a place to live. They don't have anything going for themselves. That's why they do what they do, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm all about get it how you live. At the same time, though, Jennifer Hugh is in an active lawsuit, is she not?
I'm not sure. I didn't think that she was, because I heard that they were offering her money, and I believe she declined because I heard a story that they wanted her to recant her story.
But that doesn't make sense because she can't recant. She can't recant. Like, that's why I'm like, I don't know what's true and what's not because I haven't seen the documentation. What I have seen is that was Jennifer, based off of what I saw, straddles the fence and has lied. But I don't call her a liar because that's triggering for people. And I don't want to fight Black women about something about this mixed race woman is saying. I also feel like she makes it hard because I believe she is a victim, but she makes it hard to protect her because she do things like this. You know what I'm saying? Like the same people who felt some type of way about Tasha K running her mouth,
yeah,
they are applauding Jennifer Hugh, and she's doing the same thing, in my opinion.
Exactly. I can see where you're coming from. Sonia, did you have something to put into the pot?
Oh, no.
Okay. So listen, let's just go ahead and listen to a little bit more of the audio and just brace yourselves. Get a bottle of water, get something. Actually, let's go ahead and get a commercial so we can get relaxed.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to Goddess Tulsa After Dark. This is where you let your hair down, get you a beverage, prop your feet up or down. Now it's time to hit the like, Are you subscribed? Don't forget to hit that cash app because it's After Dark with the Goddess.
All right, and we are back. We refreshed our beverages, so why don't you? But now we're about to get into this audio, honey.
Feeling, part of it, but what I realized is um, choosing not to say anything is still a choice.
Yep.
And I didn't realize not doing something was also a choice that I was making. So in a lot of situations when things like this happened, we feel like our choice had been taken from us. Even with our parents and how they chose to deal with it, whoever our caretakers was, our choice was taken. But I realized that in me making a choice to speak up and continue to speak up, and regardless of how many people say, oh, you're lying, well, what about this? Explain this more. Or, well, you said this last time. Well, give more context to this. People are going to try to dissect every bit of your word.
Yeah.
You know what happened. Mm-hmm.
There's something called the Martha Mitchell effect.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know who Martha Mitchell is, she was, the wife of the Attorney General, who was actually the initial first whistleblower for Watergate.
Mm-hmm.
And basically all of Washington, and in the end, including her husband who divorced her because of it, tried to make her out to be a liar, made her out to be an alcoholic. She started drinking more. Her husband sent her to the doctor, had her put on pills, and she got addicted to the pills. Like, they did everything that they possibly could to make this woman look crazy. And then the next thing you know, 2 years later, Watergate busts wide open. But she was the first person to say it. But they created this terminology. It's actually documented in psychological books. They call it the Martha Mitchell effect. And it's basically when you're telling the truth about something and everyone around you is saying that you're lying.
Yeah, because
So let me ask you, ladies, this: have y'all ever been in a position where you was telling the truth and everybody around you was saying that you were lying?
I have. I also feel like when that situation, I don't keep saying I'm telling the truth. I just let it unfold. It's the truth. And what she meant to say was the Martha Mitchell syndrome.
Mm. So the Martha Mitchell syndrome. Give us some, educate us on what that is, because I'm all about learning and growing, and I'm all about showing up for my sisters. But I feel like this is it's so mind-boggling. It's like, why don't you just write a book? Write a book, because you're out here giving everybody else money, and you're saying that you've moved so many times. I wouldn't have spoke. I mean, that interview that she did with Nosey, okay, clap it up. I'm thankful to Nosey for bringing it to our attention, because now we know, right? But at the end of the day, write a book. You said that you moved several times. Wouldn't you want to live comfortable at this point in your life?
So my issue with the whole thing, well, first to your first question, it was back in 1988, psychologist Brandon Marr coined the term the Martha Mitchell effect to refer to someone who was diagnosed as delusional or paranoid for making seemingly improbable claims, but it's actually telling the truth. And people don't understand. She was going up against powerful white men. Nicki Minaj, you think society is white men are going to protect her when they want her out the spot like that? And this is why I just feel like people play on the emotions and the heartstrings. And once again, Sharrell's world is in the midst of it, and I side at her anyway. They know the trigger words. Nosy knows the trigger words. This is someone who, from what I was told, her platform's not even monetized. They have to Cash App or something because YouTube won't monetize it. And I'm just like, girl, like, how long are we gonna run this into whatever?
Mhm.
I'm definitely with you. Jennifer needs to write a book. If you're not, you done went from platform to platform. It was another content creator who brought it to YouTube first, and then she has never followed up on it, which leads to me, there's some holes in the story. And then we see the holes in the story, and I just feel like it's easier to make yourself a victim and people to be on the side of the victim than
Mhm.
to be like, I know you're lying, I know you're lying, and then let me add in some some
Wh-
buzzwords, and then it's
Why?
just,
My thing is, okay, you're on YouTube. Have you reached out to any news outlets? I mean, I'm curious now
and the real went came and gone right after that.
because I'm curious, like, if you're gonna keep telling the story, okay, let us know what you are currently doing. But hopefully she tells us in this audio. Y'all ready? Brace
Yeah.
yourselves.
My own family. And when I think it was no.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys some context to the video. Okay, so Nicki Minaj's boyfriend was in a relationship before he gotten with her, allegedly. He was with a girl, and he heard that Nicki was at a food drive or turkey drive, and he showed up. And let's just say the rest is history. And so that's who this young lady is referring to when she is talking.
Often. So, I didn't know that she was actually in New York, like associating with this dude, um, or having any kind of communication with him. But, that was neither here nor there. All of that came out during me trying to tell my story. And, what she tried to base her reasoning on is because I called the family that raised me, I called them a foster family. And the reason why I did that was because when I told my story, it wasn't about bashing anybody. And I wasn't trying to reference who I was. Like, I didn't want people to know that I was me. I just wanted people to know what was going on. So I try not to say the street that I grew up on. I try not to say the lady that I was raised by, her name, because there's a lot of people in the hood who would know exactly who I am. And at that time, nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew what I looked like. Nobody knew what my name was. And like Jag said, Nosey did give me the name Sue, because I met Nosey, I think it was like the end of November of 2020.
I think so.
Right. And I didn't get a lawyer until like maybe February of 2021. And it was just because things had gotten worse. Like, you know, Tasha K had got on her platform and said I wasn't the girl.
Yep. And wait a minute. She said that Nicki Minaj told her herself. She said that.
Right. She did say that she had a conversation with Nicki.
Yeah.
And Nicki said that. And a lot of people were, you know, they just wanted me to be a liar. They wanted me to be a clout chaser. They wanted me to have some type of ulterior motive. And people don't understand, like,
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right there.
She's suing for money though.
75,000. And that's just the start. But this is my thing. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings on how Nosey Hope even ended up in this lawsuit right here?
Again, I feel Jen is clout chasing because we didn't know her identity. She wanted to be seen. She wants to, like, the baby mama, they keep calling her the girlfriend. That's his baby mother. Like, they have a child together. So the baby mother lived her life, didn't have none of these issues. Jen was going to and from New York, and Kenny was there. That's not something I made up. And this is why I'm like, and I said it before, when it comes to and this is why I said she needs to get off the internet and go heal or start a healing journey, because I get it. If somebody did something to me and they're living the lavish life, and I still have to pick up the pieces about myself, right? You can be upset about that. But to make it seem like this person is threatening you, but you're on the phone with them, FaceTiming, having casual conversation, you don't seem scared. Like, I just don't get it. And I'm saying she's the worst type of victim because
on the phone.
She was on the phone with the man that the petty sent on FaceTime talking.
Wow.
And that's why I say she's the worst type of victim, because she makes it so hard. Like, why? Like, and I don't want to say why is a triggering question. How come you're on Nosy Ho's platform? Be on your own platform talking. Nosy Ho is in litigation with Nicki Minaj now, actively.
Do you think that Nosy Ho is trying to keep Jennifer on her side as she may want to bring her in as a potential witness because of the harassment? Maybe she's trying to, okay, how are you harassed? And this is how I'm harassed. Do you think she's trying to do a compare and contrast and swindle her into court?
When it comes to civil court, like, she can't do it because Jennifer is in criminal court. Like, when Jennifer said the U.S. Marshals showed up and she told them she was not scared, to me, that just speaks volumes. We all know Kenny is on the list. They would have locked him up. They have no problem locking up any other black man. So, I don't know what to believe about Jennifer because she made it so hard for me to believe her.
So I'm thinking that you're thinking that it's a money grab.
Yes. And attention. Because when she went on The Real, that did nothing for her. She didn't get an interview with Fox News. She didn't get a Diane Sawyer face-to-face. She didn't even get a damn Oprah. You know what I'm saying?
Gayle King.
She didn't get anything. And I think there's because people know something we don't know, or they can see something we don't see. I don't know.
All right, well, let's get into this audio. All right. Brace yourselves, people.
When you go through something like this and you grow up feeling like you have always been the problem, So you change the way that you dress, you change the way that you associate with people, you change what happiness looks like, what genuine joy looks like. I'm still working on that. So much of that part of my life, I missed it. I getting dressed up and wearing something ladylike is is still a struggle for me. If you see me right now, I have on 2 pairs of sweatpants and a hoodie. This has become my normal attire because I grew up being told that it was a look about me. I must have been smiling in somebody's face, or I must have had my hair out, or I must have everything other than it wasn't your fault. You deserved that. Yeah. So when you become an adult and, you hit all of that, your whole life, you dealt with it and don't realize how you projected all your hurt and pain onto your kids and to the people who love you and try to be in your life. And
all right. So we're about to go into a part where I was confused and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So I'm not going to call the part out. We're going to listen to some more audio and then I'll just pause it and be like, hey, what are y'all thoughts? Cool. All right, let's roll.
You push them away. Like it really does affect you. So even when you think that you're doing good and just because you don't talk about it and it affects everything that you do. Yeah. It affects your relationships. It affects how you deal with men. It may affect your, how you have sex. It may affect your affection with your kids. And, and I've come to realize that I have the tendency to look at my little girl and check her first. Like the way that she's sitting, or if her shorts, if she happens to do a cartwheel and I feel like there's a piece of her shorts that might be a little bit too revealing, I would make her go put on something longer. And she's just a kid. There's no way that she's thinking about showing anything, but I'm able now to realize that I did it to my older daughter. I made her feel like, I guess I made her feel like I was made to feel, that if she continued to check herself, then those things can't happen. You know what I mean? And if anybody follows my daughter, you'll see that, she wears hardly nothing now. You know what I mean? To prove a point, but people
they know what happened to you, your children.
Yeah, I've always communicated with my kids. They know about my childhood. They've even experienced some of it because I left them, and with the same people in the same place. I'm old enough now, well, it's been brought to my attention by my own children that, I didn't necessarily break.
Shame.
Yeah. I didn't.
Jen?
I didn't break it as quick enough,
Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
I'm listening.
I hear it. I hear the emotion in your voice right now, and I hear all of the regret.
But it's not. It is.
All right, that's where I'm gonna stop it. Let me know how y'all feel.
I'm gonna let her go first.
Sonya, go off. I mean, go ahead and sound off.
On what?
on what the audio that I played. Okay.
That she being protective of her kids.
I mean, just all of it. I mean, what stood out to you, or what did you want to comment on?
I haven't got that far in therapy yet. What I want to comment on, I don't want you to get your channel took down. So I'm just gonna shut up, be quiet.
All right.
Cause all I heard
Cause
was she was the worst, like she not a good victim. What does that mean? Because she won't tell her story on what happened. And if people choose to believe her, they believe her. If they don't, they just don't. But something did happen to her. And if people want to say she lying, oh well. And she probably still going through therapy right now. But if she want to get out here, because like I said, she was minding her business until he decided not to register, that all this happened. I'm pretty sure she wasn't walking around talking about this. They brought her out and started harassing her. So she just say, forget it. I'm just gonna come out and talk. And I understand that. Because sometimes it's like the situation you was in. People don't believe that happened to you. Correct?
that is true.
So if it's hitting her by talking about it, then let her talk about it. And so I think my therapist told me I probably need to get out and talk about what happened to me. Because I didn't tell nobody, not even my mom for years, what happened to me. But one day I decided to tell her. But maybe
I
that's her therapy talking about it.
Yeah, and then I kind of feel like my situation is, I don't mind her talking about it, but if you're going to be talking about it, make it a monetary gain, because everybody around you is doing that. Get some type of income. You say you have kids. Okay, well, I'm going to be trying to make sure my kids is straight, because we don't know when it's going to be our last day to, see the light. But my thing is, instead of running around on panels and people are making money off you, Nosy Ho is, I just checked, she is monetized and she does get super chats.
They probably do send her money. We just don't know about it.
No,
Because she had put her cash out before. They had her cash out and people was cash shopping her money. So I'm pretty sure they giving her money
yeah, but when
to
they
help.
video, it's I feel like I can't tell somebody how to feel and what they went through, at the same time. She's not going to reputable people. She's going to Nosy Ho. Sharrell's World. She wasn't even on Sharrell's World. They're doing it on Nosy Ho's channel. The woman who's in litigation as well with Kenny's wife. You know what I'm saying? Based off the things she said. And this is a woman who said out her own mouth disparaging things. And I'm not saying she's not a victim. I'm not saying nothing happened. But you take your kids there and then you leave them where you said you didn't get love, you didn't get support. Where they daddy at? I don't know. It's like,
I'm with you on that one. If this is my abusers and this is what happened to me, and I was of age to where I couldn't say nothing or speak up, and this is the fear that they put in me, no ma'am. No ma'am. I'm going to be on extra guard. And like, I'm just not going to leave them. If we visit, that's one thing, but leaving them with no.
I just don't understand that. And for the record, Kenny has lived in New York the whole time. So again, you leave your kids where he's in proxemics to your kids. And she said everybody knows everybody. I don't know. I don't know. Something's not clicking to me. Maybe I have a Louisiana education. I just, something ain't right. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. And I don't want to call her a liar because she's not lying, but she's not telling the truth either.
I agree.
What truth you supposed to be telling? Because sometimes, like some victims, they'll go through something. They say, well, hurt people. And maybe she probably wasn't going through therapy or whatever she was doing back then. It's probably why she left her kids in the same situation. She probably think about it now, but probably then she wasn't thinking.
No, I'm saying you think she's going through therapy now? Because I don't
She said she was.
Yeah, she is.
Going through therapy.
I don't believe it.
Why?
I don't believe it. I don't know. Something in my gut says, and I trust my gut. My gut has never lied to me when it comes to certain situations. I don't believe she is. Her mannerisms, for me watching her on the reel, when I seen her in that I don't know. It's just, if someone threatened my life, I'm not getting on a FaceTime phone call with them and having an hour-long conversation.
Who she talked to, Nikki or Kenny?
She talked to some dude named Block, and and Block was on the last Nosey Ho live with her.
Who is he?
The man who put the hit out on her or something like that. And that's what I'm saying. It's holes in the story.
Oh, the one that came back and said that he did that because he was friends with Kenny, and that he told her he apologized. He felt bad that he done that. That Block.
Yes, and they found out he's not friends with Kenny or Nikki. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
okay, so she supposed to, because he lied, they blaming her?
Because they both lying.
Because so if I'm understanding this, you're saying, okay, there was a hit put out for her, allegedly. That's what she said. And who put out the hit or whoever was supposed to do it or associated with it was Block, right?
Yes.
But then they're on the same panel. So how does that make sense?
Exactly.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Do you see it, Sonya? Like, okay, how is this connecting?
Yeah, I don't know was that he came and said that he was sorry and that they were friends. Now him and that man ain't friends. I don't know because I don't stay in New York. I can give a fuck about New York, careless. But I don't know any of them people at all. All I know, that man didn't arrest him. He got locked up, and that started this whole snowball effect on what's going on.
Well, girl, let's get into this content. I'm at this audio because it's a little bit more. I ain't gonna bore you. A little bit more, and then we're gonna call it quits, and then we're gonna do a little discussion, child. Sound cool, ladies?
Yes.
All right, there we go.
Regret. But I think I know you hear the tears, but I think it's one of those things where it kind of has to be talked about. It kind of has to be said, because a lot of times us being damaged, we don't realize what we put onto our own kids because of the things that we didn't deal with. Like, I didn't know counseling was necessary. I didn't know continuing to talk about it was necessary. I thought that I had did good. I thought I was different than my mother. Like, I wasn't on drugs, and I didn't put my kids up for adoption, and I didn't live on welfare, and I didn't live in, I thought I did something. I thought, and turns around that, you know what? Well, my kids is old enough, at least 3 of them are old enough to sit around a table and have a story of their own. And if it wasn't for me wanting my story out, I don't know if I would have been at a place where I'd be able to receive their story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I've been privy to having some really heavy conversations with my own children about their childhood and what they experienced. Granted, I didn't beat my kids like I got beat, but I didn't hug them like they needed to be hugged. I wasn't able to give them that affection. But I thought just telling them that I loved them and that they were smart, and I thought that if I didn't beat down their self-esteem, that I was
doing great,
that I was doing good. And
but Jennifer,
okay, this is the part that I didn't like. You have this woman being vulnerable. Let her speak, because she was going into something and she was about to let it out, but then you can't jump in and cut a woman off when she's in her feelings, because now you done interrupted that energy that she was on. She was on a high frequency, like, but then it's like now y'all done pushed her back in the damn cubby hole. What are your thoughts?
I felt like she was going to really like say something, and we probably never know what she was going to say. That's why she needs her own platform at this point, if you're going to be on YouTube.
Exactly. And listen, I feel like she would get her hours in no time. She would get the subscribers in no time, because people want to know. People will pull up and listen.
I agree.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying I agree.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to hear a little bit more, and then we're going to jump into the steak.
So this is why when you talk about not being affectionate with your own kids, and then you said that, you know, being assaulted affects your relationships, how you have sex and everything. So this is something that's important to point out, because I see a lot of people in the chat saying that, you know, they stand with you and they were touched too. And that's why you were not, that's probably one of the reasons why you were not able to be affectionate in that way with your kids, because Black women use the word touch to talk about molestation. Y'all have to stop talking about that. No, you were molested, you were assaulted, you were raped. Touch is not a bad thing, but because Black people are taught that.
Okay, I'm lost. How is touch not a bad thing?
I was never told touch was a bad thing. I was told you don't let people negatively touch you. Like, I mean, if their parents use touch, that's fine, but affection has nothing to do with touching. They're not symbiotic. I don't know.
All right. Well, Nosey's about to tell us, child.
Black women are taught that, and you use little childish words like "I was touched when I was younger." Those little girl words, that stuff stays in your mind, and now you don't even want to touch your children. Right. You don't want the person who was probably touching you in a loving way to touch you. You jump. Black women have to stop and change your language that you use about things and use adult words. No, I was assaulted, I was molested, I was raped. You have to stop saying touch. I say that all the time in a lot of ways. But that's also knows will bring you out of arrested development state of staying in a little girl's mind when you talk about it. You have to talk about it in an adult way. I've seen more than one person say in a chat, I was touched. And then you just said something very important, how you were not able to be physically, you know, affectionate with your kids. That's why. It's the language that we're taught by older Black people. Right. You have to call them in touch. You have to. Yeah.
So
it's a cycle. It's a cycle.
Right. But you don't know anything about cycles. You just think that, hey, I'm going to do something different than what my mother did. I'm going to make sure that I don't put my kids, you know, in you know, like push them onto a man. Like I didn't even push my kids onto their own father. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't. So you don't realize, and it's because of me connecting with Nosey and hearing certain things and hearing women speak about different things that happen. And even though her delivery may be raw, Some people need that. Some people need that rawness. Like, no, it's not touch, stupid. It's rape. That's exactly what that is. Because a lot of times we question ourselves. Like, was it really that? Well, maybe I shouldn't have said hi to him. I remember when I was telling a story about what led up to, like me walking to the bus stop and him being at the bus stop. And everybody was like, oh.
Okay, guys. So trigger warning, brace yourselves. Now she's about to give us the run through on what happened, how it happened, and the 411.
Well, you spoke to him first, like, oh, y'all had a dialogue. So what?
Yeah.
Jen? So what? We had a dialogue. So
Jen,
what? I said, yeah.
Listen to me. Do you remember the story that I shared with you about my situation when I was young like you?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Jag. I was waiting for sis to give us what we needed. And I think on this part, I was aggravated on this slide because it kept taking her moment. Well, this is something that happened about me. Well, love is respectfully, it's not about you right now. The people was tuning in to hear from her.
I personally believe like a lot of people are just looking for clout for the situation. That's why I said, at this point, I'm with you, Tulsa. She needs to write a book. She needs to host a podcast, something. Because running to Nosey Ho is not lining her pockets. I don't care if they do drop her Cash App. She's not getting them coins from the advertisement dollars.
And you know what? This is, I have a hard time understanding why do people just really get off to just being negative, just really get off to being just plain out evil. I never understood that. I mean, it's like you just wake up and you just choose evilness. You choose, just evil, just to be evil.
Well, they don't think it's evil. They think they're doing something because they have a mission. The mission is to put the story out there, so they don't see it as evil.
By any means necessary.
By any means, especially when you don't have the monetary means coming in like that. And let's remember, YouTube just cut the check today, so yeah.
Speaking of cutting that check, girl, y'all hit that Cash App. No, hold on one second, y'all. Let's
get
into it.
Even still to this day, I still struggle with the reality of what happened to me because of how people tried to erase it away, how people tried to demean it. And that's why I'm glad you're saying everything that you're saying, because it affects you.
Yeah.
There is no career that you're going to get that's going to make that unhappen. There's no house that you're going to buy that's going to make that unhappen. It's not, that's what we do. That's what I did.
Okay. I just couldn't listen to anymore. I was really waiting for Jennifer to really have her moment, really have her time to really give us her expectations, like what she expects and how people can support and things like that. Like, if you're a victim, how can we support you? What do we need to do? How can we show up? That's just my question at this point. No more audio. It was becoming too much for me.
I think, like I said, hurt people, but I also believe if you don't go do the healing, then it's going to spill over. It's like if you don't treat a wound, you're just going to bleed everywhere. Or if you want to use that analogy, and I get it happen to people and they don't know how to handle it, but I don't get, and I will never understand, running from platform to platform. What is that doing for you?
Well, when I was doing it, it was, I was on a mission to build my channel. you know,
But you see that you was on a mission to build your channel. She don't have a channel.
yeah. So it's like, what is the mission?
That's why I'm confused. Like, you know,
And well, she would say, bringing awareness. So I can see, okay, bringing awareness. What were you gonna say?
um, and that's fine too. But you like it's like we're talking in circles at this point. And I don't want to be like, dismissive of her because her feelings are valid. I do believe something happened. We will never know what went down. We will never know how it transpired and played out. At the same time, we have seen things in these spaces, and I'm like, girl, what? You have children. You have a young daughter. You talking about you moving from pillar to post. Like, do you have a job? Like, what's going on? And if you don't, how are you providing for yourself? And then, like, she said things that stood out. She don't even let the kids have a relationship with their dad or whatever. I'm like, girl, what is that about? Like, I have questions.
Wow. Sonia, what are your thoughts and feelings and opinions?
About what?
um, I mean, just about, I don't know. I'm just,
Well, I would say the touching part, that is like true because I I would say like my mom, grandma, the older uncles and aunties always tell us if somebody touch you, let us know. And they didn't say touch you with like different body part like touch you. Like somebody like I'm thinking like a hug or something like that. That person is touching me. And I say, hey, he touched me. Or she touched me. You know what I'm saying? They know
Mhm.
define what they actually meant to say. They just said touch. And as the kid, you think it's somebody coming to touch you on your arm, give you a hug or something, they touching you. Not knowing that's not what they was talking about. And they was older. So that is kind of like, or if something happened in the family, it stays in the family. We got
Mhm.
taught that at a young age also. I didn't say didn't nobody in my family, do the N word, nothing like that. No, no, no. Oh hell no. Uh, my mom would have been in jail, but they told us about touching also. But got older, I realized when I got older what they actually meant. So now when I talk to my nieces, my great nieces, I be like, anybody touch on your pocketbook, and they know what their pocketbook is.
What happened?
Oh, I'm still here. I think Sonia, her phone, it gets hot and then it'll shut off.
Okay. Well, I feel like this. I get the touching, but I also feel like when they give not negative connotations when it comes to oh Sonya, no, girl, get your iPhone. I feel like when it comes to older generation, we have to speak on why they said touching because it was the family members doing it. One, two, they was not putting them in jail, and three, anytime my grandma would say that, I knew exactly what she was talking about, even when I was little. So I never, you know what I'm saying? You know what's inappropriate and you know what's not. But
Right.
my mom uses the words. We would say the words like she never said, my vajayjay. She would say vagina, like
Mhm.
penis. She would put those words in our minds. So you knew because she said if it ever came down to court, because the little white kids, as quiet as it's kept, a lot of them are being me too'd or whatever by family members. There's a movie about it. It's called Bastard Out of Carolina. That was
Mhm.
based off of just things. I remember the director speaking about it, based off of things that were personally going on that they put in a book and then they made a movie, right? fast forward, you know, bad touch, good touch. You know that. Like I get that. And
Right.
but we not break we in a newer generation now. A lot of us are not breaking bread with the predator either. Like
Exactly.
back in the gap. Where your cousins, your brother, your auntie, your mom, your daddy had to see them Thanksgiving and they at the family barbecue. Like, no.
Well, even with that, let me ask you this. How do you feel about, that happened in the black community? And Uncle Ray Ray gets a celebration for when he comes home.
Um, it happens in the white ones too, because like I said, I have a background in it. I'm Nova credential.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It really
Do
happens. The white people, baby, they call it grandpa's inheritance. Hence why we get the flowers in the attic.
mm,
You know, there's a lot of I'll tell you this, white people just don't publicize it because at the end of the day, grandpa or uncle or auntie or grandma have control of the purse strings. And if they're poor, it's just, you know, we may get you some justice, we may not. But I know being in Louisiana, I've seen when I used to run track in Alabama, there was a lot of like incidents with students
uh-huh.
and seeing the reports and stuff like that. Now I understand why.
Wow.
And they have it in low income. I mean, look at Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, he was a billionaire
Mm-hmm.
doing what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? To
Yes.
to predominantly white women. They were not picking black girls.
Mm-mm. It's just wow. This world, listen here, this world is scary. This world will chew you up and spit you out if you are not aware or woke in some capacity.
Very truthful. I
Wow. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying I believe that. And like I said on my platform, I love your messaging. I feel like you're gonna draw in a huge audience. Again, my heart does go out to Jennifer, but I feel like Jennifer is lying about something. I don't know what it is. And it could be the fact that I feel it's a money grab. You know, if she was
Hmm.
all about justice and she kept Nikki out of it, I would be like, oh, or she just went after Kenneth. Oh, okay. I feel like she's hurt that he's living his life. He's able to have children with the children he had with the women he wants to have with. These are beautiful women. Uh
Hmm.
he's been in and out of prison, so he's able to have a life she probably feels she's entitled to.
Wow. Now, when you talk about entitlement, um, wow, that goes deep because wow, it's the regret, like, that should have been me, or, why didn't you look out for me type of situation. Wow, this can go so many ways. And like we've been saying, we stand with survivors, we stand with her, but we're just saying with her hopping around on different platforms, it is really not making sense to us because you have children and we're thinking, okay, if you're into it with a big mega superstar, why wouldn't you just write my side of the story? If that was me, my situation, I would be like my side of the story.
Exactly.
My side of the story, and of course, change everybody's name up in there, and do your big one. I feel like while you have an opportunity to give your children a better life of protection, even if you decide to, build your home with that money and do homeschool, but let's do something different. And if you're going after him, go after him.
Exactly. I just don't get it. And then you hire the shadiest lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn. Like what?
Honey.
It's like the people who hired the Blooms. Like what?
Exactly. You know what? This,
And that's not to be funny, but it's like, what are we doing?
you know, hold on. Let me take a second. Let me take a second to really get into this moment. Okay, so was this the man that you was talking about? Hold on, let me see. Is this him? You talking about him?
Yeah.
Thinking of a master plan.
See? Oh my
I call him thinking of a master plan. Okay.
God. Okay. All I see is that cash in my hand. Okay, that's right.
Money. It says, "Give me your money now."
J 877 cash now.
No, listen. Y'all talk about cloud chasers. My brother, listen here. He gets in where he fits in. I ain't mad at him. But this is the thing. Y'all, we gotta do better. We definitely have to do better. If we helping people, let's help them. Let's not do it for other damn reasons. You getting monetized and you using people's stories and you didn't make money off that woman for years. I mean, this woman's story for years. She brings in your likes and your views, ma'am. Break that woman off. Send
Yeah.
her a chat. I'm pretty sure she could use it.
What's a cash app when we know everybody knows how much you could possibly make if the video is viral enough? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe Nosy Ho is like, oh girl, here girl, I made $1,000 off this one video, so here's $500. I don't think she's doing that. I
Yeah,
don't see
I just
that.
you know what this kind of reminds me of, and sorry to cut you off, but oh my goodness, it just reminds me of being just taken advantage of.
Oof. And I'm sorry that happened to you. And I do like that Sonya brought it up because I never for a second thought, like even when people feel like they don't, I said, well, something had to happen. It was people there, you know,
Yeah,
if I don't agree with how things go down and I said it on my platform, like even though I've said things about the LGBTQ, you never like shunned me or made it seem like I don't like the Rainbow Coalition. I know I say that, but it's just easier to say than keep going.
right.
You
Well,
LGBT.
my thing is, if this is my thing, if you rock with me, you rock with me. If you support our community, you support our community. I don't have a say so in what people believe. Only thing I'm here to do is just make connections and build relationships, and we can show the world together that we can all conquer, we can all eat, and we can still strive. And yes, we're going to have some uncomfortable conversations. I love that you don't agree with everything because I'm not going to agree with everything, and I think that's what makes it fun. And we definitely have to get over on your channel as well to have a discussion, and really break down barriers. I feel like the more people we have engaged, I feel like we're getting somewhere because the message, somebody's going to take it. Somebody's going to get something from that message and utilize it. And then there we go. We're helping people.
That's so truthful, and that's probably why I don't feel like I feel like Jennifer is the worst type of victim to have because she runs to Nosy Ho's platform as if Nosy Ho even cares about her, and I know that sounds crazy, but nothing in my spirit says Nosy Ho even remotely gives a damn about Jennifer. And she probably do. That's just my opinion.
I could see why you would say that. Um, I feel like she cares about her because if she has to swindle her in on her court case, because I feel like that's the thing.
That's
Like,
what she said.
yeah, that's her purpose. Like to stay in connection. Always let her up. Always give her a voice, and that's a great thing. We want to hear her voice, but we want to hear her voice on her channel. So if y'all watch this, get her in contact. Let her write her book.
That
That's
well, I would read it because she said she's had past traumas and past incidents. She didn't go to the police on them. Now it's kind of weird, but I don't know. I just feel like I would read it. I would give my thoughts, and I would go about my day. You know what I'm saying? I think she needs
Mhm.
to do a healing channel, like things she's done to heal herself. Y'all said she's in counseling. If she is, then why? I don't know. I have questions. Like I do feel like Nosy Ho would try it, but Jennifer could not go for her civil case because that Jennifer has nothing to do with Nosy Ho said. Nosy Ho said that Nikki likes to do the party favors, and then she said, "Oh, I've seen it." That's what she said. I've seen it, and I was like, "Girl, what?"
Yeah. It that's the thing that got me. It's like the nail, the demonstration. The demonstration is what I'm like, oh my goodness. At
Exactly.
that point, I was like, oh,
And I don't blame Nikki either because she is a brand. Nicki Minaj is a brand. She sells out. Like the Fendi collection didn't even last a week. It was sold out in a day. There was nothing left for the girls who really wanted something like myself. Nothing. Every
peep this out, Couture. Peep this out. Out of, oh my gosh, like she's a rapper. Nikki is a rapper. And yes, she say things in her lyrics, but how many of the fellas say things in their lyrics? Let's talk about Future and his, you know, perk that cause that you know what I'm saying? Molly perk but are you out there trolling him and saying, "Hey, you Molly head," or "Hey, you perk head"?
no,
You know what I'm saying?
there's no
Like,
to be a functioning rapper with doing the things that he do with all those drugs in his system. You know what I'm saying? It's virtually impossible. And I feel like Nosy Ho was once had even in the midst of her being married to Kenny, she was over there like, oh my God, Barb this, Barb that, right? And
uh-huh.
didn't change. But I don't know. I personally believe, like, may God be with her. I did not want to hear about Jack Ryder, right? We already know you've went through things, right? But you haven't did your proper work either. I can tell the girls who don't do the work. Like, if you're
Mhm.
doing the work, there's no way you would be acting the way that you do.
And you know what? It's good that you say that because even after the assault against me, I've been going through therapy and I'm sharing less with these people on here because when people are committed to misunderstanding you, you have to let them do their thing. And my thing is, you said something earlier that made a great point. When you know it's the truth, you just let it ride. You ain't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta be at the I don't have to be at the forefront. I ain't gotta blast it, blast it, blast it, blast it, blast it, blast. Listen, when it all comes out, the same people that was down in it, I want to see you.
Okay, vindicated. That's my favorite say.
Vindicated. Yeah. And it's like, don't I'm not gonna cause myself the stress, the pain, the worry, the aggravation, the anxiety. Oh, who's making a video now and what's going on here? Because I feel like once you start that, then that's how it goes. It's like you jump on a train of racing thoughts.
That's so truthful, and that's why I said yesterday on the panel, Sharrell played herself because she didn't know that Wiley came from the beef sector, and that Wiley, the moment you even attack him, he is coming for blood, and he's going to be funny about it, and people are gonna, there was people in my comments who were like, I don't like him, da da da, and I said it's not about that. It's about right is right and wrong is wrong. Like two things can be right at the same time. Sherelle had no business getting up late at night doing that video on Wiley, and Wiley had every right to respond. Like it is what it is. Just like I feel about this situation. What is the purpose of Nosy Ho doing this? What was that about?
Then this is my thing. I could see if she reached out to the girl, got a foundation going, or got a channel dedicated to her. So that girl can be on that channel, and then survivors can call in and do what they was gonna do. That's what I would have done for sis. And I wouldn't even ask her for nothing because you've been through a lot already. No matter if we believe it or not, hey, let me get you set up. You do your thing, and you do your thing right here. Do your big one right here, and you get your flowers or whatever it is that you're looking for. You can do it right here. Your platform. You might as well have your own platform because you're on nosies, and it's being monetized
All the time. She's been over there 3 or 4 times this year. It's so unheard of.
But listen, first of all, Jennifer did an interview with a male YouTuber first, and then Nosy got on, and she went in for the field goal, child, and she got that interview, and it's been on and popping ever since.
Yeah, but like, is she going to other YouTubers, or is she just sticking with Nosy Ho?
I'm not sure. I'm not even really sure, to be honest.
Because I think that's crazy. I think, like, again, I would have wrote a book. I would have already had the book ready for release date. Do you understand? I would have pulled a
listen, you want a signature? You want me to sign it?
a RL3 from the Redskins. I would have pulled that. Oh, and I'm dropping it this date, so they can already be prepared. For my New York's bestseller. Do you understand?
Exactly. And I just want the girl to just be set. Like, she said that she's moved several times. And I could only imagine. You only see that stuff in movies, sis.
I don't believe that either, because if you're constantly moving, why would you come to the internet? And that, not why. What makes you keep coming to the internet?
Now listen here, Nosy's got that holistic. You think that she didn't summons the girl, honey? Listen, let me say this. Sharrell, yes, she's had, her situations, right? But let's say this. She has a platform with over 300,000 people on there, right?
Correct.
And I feel like she is, that term, like dumbing yourself down to somebody else's level to get it?
Yup.
I feel like this crowd that swarmed her, negativity has rubbed off on her. Or, this is 2022. This is the year of reveal.
That's so true.
So maybe, the cards are just falling the way that they were damn dealt.
I feel that way too, because you know what? Before, I never even noticed Sharrell. I never thought she was snakish until she started moving like weird. I don't keep up with her, but I do find it very funny that she does this over at Nosy Ho's channel, but she won't do it at her channel with Jennifer.
Yeah. And see, this is the thing. I had already heard about her back, somebody had already put me on to her. But she was on that interview, and it was like, okay, Nosy's supposed to be the bad guy. Jag is supposed to be the counselor. We have Jennifer, Lord forgive me for saying this wrong if I am, the sympathy. And then you have Sharrell playing the innocent.
That's how I see it.
It was like she was trying to reclaim her time. But honey, people know you woke up out of your bed. My damn, my rooster was here. He didn't even cocky doody doo. He didn't even do all that yet. But honey, they said that she was on that internet.
She was queen. You didn't even get to see it
Yeah.
because I get up early. So I get up. It was still up about 4:50 ish in the morning. And I never laughed so hard early in the morning ever. And I said, see, I need to meditate because I'm trying to get back to, doing the things, so that I can be positively aligned and stay aligned because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like something's in the atmosphere. I have to be on my guard, right? So
Right.
I'm watching it, I'm laughing, I'm cracking up. I'm like, okay, I could get to work. I'm like, let me play it again because this is funny. I don't see it. And I'm like, maybe the link is gone, right? I don't see it. It doesn't say it's members or members only. I don't see it at all. So I don't know if like what she was able to do to it, right? But she did. She was like, Wiley lied. And I never laughed so hard in my life. And I said, what? I didn't
What
even make
you say?
Wiley lied. He just lied. And I was cracking up so hard because I said, what? I said, what's happening? How did we get here? And then Jovi, she did her video. And I said, oh, okay. So I said, I wonder if this is where Wiley lied because it wasn't making sense to me. I said, maybe I messed up. Because listen, when you in the moment, you just like, dang, maybe I'm moving too fast. It has to be me. And then Wiley was like,
Mhm.
no, you woke up out your sleep, put on your wig, put on your makeup to talk about me. And I said, he's right.
Mhm.
He is right. And a lot of people was like, they didn't get to see it, but a lot of people did. It's like half and half.
Yeah, she must have unlisted it or privated it. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. But this is my thing. It's like I'm just. I mean, help me understand. Like, uh, well, you know what? Let's give that a break right quick and let's take a look at this article. Child,
Mm.
we have a struggle bandit that got away with a tragic situation. Um, F you and this baby. Outrage after man who beat pregnant girlfriend and unalived their unborn child avoids jail.
What? How?
Travis County, Texas. A Texas man got away scot free after accepting a plea deal with 8 years of deferred adjudication on a third degree continuous family violence assault charge,
Mm.
courtesy of Travis County District Attorney's Office. Johnny Charles Ebbs V is accused of beating his pregnant girlfriend to the point where she lost her unborn child, according to Texas Attorney's website. Deferred adjudication is when a person pleads guilty or no contest to a charge and there is no finding of guilt at the time of sentencing. The court puts that person on community supervision or probation for a stretch of time. And if the probation is completed, then the original offense is dismissed. But if the person has their probation revoked or violates probation, they could face up to the full punishment of the original charge. Police said that Ebbs assaulted his pregnant girlfriend, LaShonda Lemons, and then hospitalized her in Austin in 2019.
That is crazy. That is
Then,
crazy.
yeah, Zam reported that Ebbs punched Lemons in the stomach and yelled, F you and this baby, you aren't going anywhere. The child tragically unalived 3 days later due to blunt force trauma. Kelsey McKay, who is the attorney of Lemons, claimed Ebbs' bond and agreed upon protective order required him to forfeit his guns, which has not happened to this day. We have firearm surrender laws, we have domestic violence laws, but if there's not enforcement and implementation of those laws, they're relatively useless, McKay said. Ebbs will now be required to wear a GPS monitor for 6 months and will not serve any jail time. Very concerned that the sentencing does not result in safety for the survivor and the community, domestic abuse advocate Connie Huntsman Stronger said. Child. Oh my God.
Fact
That's
that Austin is so crazy because Austin is a predominantly white city. It's like very high income. That's weird. Like, and she still had the baby. I wouldn't have had no baby. We would have been at the chop shop. Okay, no.
wow.
I'm sorry.
That's I mean, what is going on? Like, what is in the air? What is in the water? Like, what is going on?
Something these men are out of not even these men, these people, because it's women doing it too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea, and it's so weird to me. That's real strange. Like your own flesh and blood. That's how you feel about your child.
No, get into this. Did you hear about the lady in Chicago that unalived her landlord because of an eviction?
Yes, and I said, and y'all want me to get into real estate? I said, hell no. These people do
Right.
not want to pay. They don't want to pay the rent. They are becoming squatters, professional squatters. Like,
Get into this one. Did you hear about the lady that unleashed her bees because she was getting evicted?
what?
Yes.
And I blame the COVID relief because when they said stay home, people lost their minds. Too much.
Yes.
They've been plotting for months, years.
And that's not funny, but oh my goodness, like that's deep. Now,
Listen, I definitely understand. Like, I get it, but there's no way. I was with our former president when he said he didn't want us to go home because he knew he had foresight. He knew Americans are just. I've been in other countries and they say we are pretentious. They say a lot of us are lazy, and baby, we prove it every day. The job force is literally taking people who smoke weed.
exactly. And you know what? It was like soon as those checks started coming out and people are like, dang, I'm making more money staying at home than, what I'm saying, than these jobs was paying. But in the same token, these jobs, y'all sit up here and y'all take advantage of people and y'all want to give them the lowest of the pay. Take care of people and people will work. You
That
know?
right now, I think it's like 14 an hour at McDonald's. I said, let me apply. I said,
Right.
just because,
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I take your order?
I,
Okay.
I don't care what they want me to do. Stock. Let me go back here and stock. Like, because I was just like, wow, 14.
You
I,
know what?
I
I
said,
mess around and go down the street. Girl, I'm about to be at McDonald's. Come on. Part time.
part time, and then
Part time. Come on.
you get what is it when you
Oh.
overtime when you go over the little 4 hours?
Uh-huh.
That's simple.
Listen here. You know what? I was thinking about that. I'm thinking about going ahead and going to this one place. Um, I might consider that, but it's got to be part time because I want to take my children to and from school. I want to be able to do that. They're in high school, middle school, and
Okay.
yes, these are prominent years. And so, oh, did I tell you? So tonight, me and baby girl went to see the Broadway musical of Frozen. Oh my God, it was
But
so
that nice. They do it every. Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah.
Enjoy it.
It was fabulous and she enjoyed it and we was, usually when I say, okay, y'all, let's watch a movie, they know that I'm not going to watch the movie. I'm going to end up falling asleep. Right. But at the play, my baby kept looking over at me. I was up, honey. I watched it the whole way through and we got to laugh. We took pictures. We were just so excited. And really it was just like being a kid again, girl.
Oh, like that. That's some,
Yes.
that's how my niece and nephew are like when it comes to like kid movies. They be like, "Are you gonna watch it?" I watch it even if it's trash because we
Yeah.
SpongeBob. They were real little, but they just girl. I fell asleep in the movie theater. Okay.
Listen, I have the same itis, and it's so funny because I did the same thing. Especially, we went to this movie theater. Honey had took me one night, and the chairs reclined. It was a Warren theater. It was a
Ooh.
Warren theater. Yes, honey. And honey, they reclined back. And what was it? It was that movie where that lady had she was being cool with her kids and mamas or moms. What was it?
Oh, Mama, yeah,
Yeah.
that movie was crazy.
That, yeah. But I don't know. So listen, I do have like a Sunday social, and
Oh,
I try to have it every Sunday where it's like a potluck. You bring your topics or whatever, search them up. If it's something that you're going through in your real life, if you just want to talk about a story, bring it. And I want to extend the invitation to you.
okay, I'll come as long as you tell me the time. Um, I
We
can
usually have it at 9. So Sundays at 9
9
o'clock.
or 9 at night.
Oh, 9 p.m. Central Time. And you East Coast?
No, I'm Central Time. I'm in Texas.
Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's 9 o'clock our time.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I could definitely do that. That sounds fun. That sounds like yeah, a social topic. I'll bring a good one. I won't bring nothing sad. I'm gonna bring something happy.
Listen, bring whatever. We meet you where you are. And I love. I love people. I love engaging. I'm in the process of trying to find out how I can become an influencer where I can have products on my channel and show them up kind of like what Chelsea does.
I
When I
think affiliate programs.
Yeah, affiliate program. I need to figure out how to get into that because I haven't even has she I've been catching like is these clips that she's uploading because I haven't seen her go live.
Yeah, she because it's better to do an
Upload.
edited video. It gets pushed more depending on the topic, right? But she talks about affiliate programs and which ones she do and stuff like that. So I know that's still up because that one I think is like a really good video of hers.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it and then I'm gonna also share it and tag her.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the best way to do it until somebody comes and say, "Hey, do you want to be a part of my company or something?"
Yeah. And see, like, listen, these are the conversations that I want to push. I want to talk about real conversations. Like, I was gonna I had got into like reviewing, you know, um, the shows, but that's not really where my passion is. I feel like my passion is here having these real uncomfortable conversations.
No, I think it was definitely good because when I saw it, I was like, "What nosy hoe do?" And then I'm hearing it, and I'm like, "Wait a minute!" I was like, "I know this is not Jennifer again," And I know people probably, and just in case if y'all are in the recap, the reason I said what I said is because the proof is out there. Something in the milk ain't clean.
And you know what? And everybody is welcome to their opinion. If you disagree, let Couture Bay know on her channel. Get in them comments.
They will. They will be like, you're like, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, um, I feel different, you feel your way, and that's why I love the engagement.
Okay. So do
Because
you
I feel like, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
so do you believe like do you think she's telling the truth? And I hate to put you on the spot like that. About you think she's telling us the truth?
Well, I feel like when it comes to the allegations of something happened, I do feel something happened. Do I feel like there's, and I gotta word this the right way. um, I do feel like that there's a point where I'll be ready for her to really express her raw, unfiltered feelings. And that's why I'm going to say that she definitely needs to write that book. Because I feel like right now she's just, protecting her character. She doesn't want to seem like a liar. But I feel like there's more to that story. And I think she brought a little bit out when she said that, things were happening in the home and, the trust and certain things like that. And she went to school instead of going home. So I feel like there's a raw, unfiltered version to the story. And that's what I'm willing and waiting for her to reveal.
Oh, I feel like she's never going to tell us though, because I believe like she still hangs out with those people. I personally do. The fact that she sent her kids up there spoke volumes to me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's that part right there. Thank you for pointing that out. It's kind of hard for me to push through that part because it's like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. Like I literally I have to laugh, like, whoa, like like no. Like I guess I don't want to believe it
Well, not want to believe it.
because she said it. It
Hmm.
ain't, it ain't about me wanting to believe it. It's like, it's when you have to believe something, when something is a fact because she said it. And I guess I'm just stuck right there, like, oh my gosh.
That,
You know,
but that's truthful too, and that's why I look at her like, girl, what?
yeah, because I mean, scared, talking about scared of an abuser, and I know what you did to me. No, I'm not putting anybody around you to be at risk. And it's no offense to you, but no.
And truthful too. That's why I was like, what? That's why when you was like, oh, wait till y'all hear, I'm not gonna say anything, and I was like, okay, there's no way she could possibly be saying something crazy, and then we hear it, and I'm like, girl, what?
Well, she said that, and then it was just them like chiming in, cutting her off on her story. And it was like, it was a lot there, but I felt like they fumbled it. But it seemed like they were trying to cut her off anyway. Give us this shit behind the scenes, and then this is information that or Nosy has when she wants to continue to go forward or push through in court.
Exactly. Exactly. Like you are saying it right.
Yeah, I mean, hell, they say if you wanna, know what a criminal is like, hell, start thinking like them. So now I've got to put my plate. I got to put myself in different, and I think that's where people have a disconnect, or that's when they have, oh, I feel some type of way because they haven't taking themselves out of their shoes and try it at different angles. Try it from, see it from this point of view, see it from this point of view, you know?
That's definitely true. And I definitely believe that because when we really think about it, right? I really wanted her to talk. Like, and I was with you when you was like, they just keep interrupting. I was like, yeah, like was she the guest host? Or I feel it was too many content creators, or it shouldn't have been a panel. I don't know. Like they should have asked the question one by one. Like it should have been like, hey, I'm gonna host her, ask her questions.
Yeah. Yeah. And then where was it ever a point where if you would like to contribute, to this young lady, you know, let's make that happen. You know, I
They're
mean,
they're never gonna.
that's sad. But they should have gave her the option to put up her cash app or something. Put your cash app up, ma'am. Go and get you a nice dinner, or go and get you a massage, or even go get your nails done, or go get a pedi, just to take your mind off of this. I guess where I'm coming from is I'm sympathetic because I want the woman to relax. Like, just go get a pedi, listen to you some music, and
Okay.
just enjoy that moment. Or take
It's
your kids to ZC's, or go out to a buffet.
something. Cause
Something.
Because I'm sick of it being, I'm super protective of my kids. Like, and I understand that. But I'm like, how many conversations are we going to have around that? Like, I don't know.
Where are we at in the case? What are we doing? Are we pursuing charges? Did we just let it go? What are we doing?
Exactly. I do want to know that.
Not being rude, but what are we doing? How can we help? What is this message about? What did we show up for? We're showing up because you're a survivor. We get it. What else can we do? What is it? How can we help? Does that make sense, sis?
No, it does make sense. Because that's what I want to know. I want to know, like, exactly, like, what's going on? What is going on? How come, how come we not hearing nothing? Like, I don't know. It should be something, and the fact that we not getting something, it's always going to be an issue for me.
Let me say this because Nikki,
Mm-hmm.
Nikki is in this. She's suing Nosy Ho. How do
Correct.
you feel about Sharrell giving her the platform to come on there and to just say what she wants to say? And I feel like silence or put a stop to anybody that differs in opinion from Nosy.
Because she has to do that. I feel like because I don't trust Sharrell at all. After that Wiley Live video, I didn't see what I needed to see. And it was enough for a lifetime. I was like, wait, what? Right? I also feel like she she's being exploitive, of the situation because there's no way she could be like, oh, I don't agree. I don't X, Y, and Z. And then we see you moving, I don't know, it's just moving very crazy. Moving very crazy, it's very weird. It's getting real strange.
What are your thoughts about All About the Tea?
I like All About the Tea. I have not seen that video with Sharrell and All About the Tea going at it, but I did hear that Nosy Ho was like trying to prove her identity, and other people got caught up in it, and they were getting threats, and just weird behavior. Who
Mhm.
acts like for real? Who acts like that?
So speaking of All About the Tea, if you know, Nosy was doxing, Nosy was getting pictures, she was sending her mermaids out, all that energy. What do you say to that energy being reciprocated to her? What was it, a year or two later? This is happening. What are your thoughts to her putting out energy and then now she's feeling what those individuals were feeling when they were had nothing to do with it and they were being doxxed and harassed?
You get what you give. Like, she can't expect people to feel sorry for her when she was out here doxing the girls, like, and the boys, and she was putting out information, and she was just being so, like, it was so weird. And I'm gonna keep saying it was weird because I need people to understand, like, a normal human being would never do what she did. And so I don't have an issue with people doing it to her because she do it to others. Like, that's the energy she puts out there. So when she be crying about black woman this and black man that and running from, and I'm happy the lead attorney, I think that's his name, he said it to her. He said, do you see how you put yourself in this situation to be sued? And she said she didn't. So I was just like, well, child, more power to you, girl.
Mm, you know what? I'm gonna have to
Hello, YouTube fam. How y'all?
I'm gonna have to give this guy credit. Um, we're about to listen to something real quick.
This channel doesn't grow or exist without you. With all that being said, it's been a fan of her show back when she was back in the day when it was just her doing her thing. Now with this panel, the shit done changed.
Hold on.
You know, I've been a fan of her show. Back Thank you. The new subscribers, thank you. But with that being said, you know, I've been checking out Sharrell Jag for a while. You know, I've been a fan of her show back when she was back in the day when it was just her doing her thing. Now with this panel changed, the personality done changed. The infighting with the smaller YouTubers, you know, all the negative, toxic behavior that is starting to become apparent. And people are looking at this and, you know, they're pointing fingers. You know, they're asking what's really going on. Did she have to go and do everything that she had to do? What's with this apology? You know, it's just just another thing in a long list of bad behavior. You know, she's hanging around negative people and then making her stuff negative.
What are your thoughts on that?
He's a subscriber. He knows how she acts and operates, and he knows. I believe he's telling the truth. I mean, he subscribed from
And
day one. That's her day one.
and this video that I'm playing is from a year ago.
What?
Yes.
What? Wow.
So the signs were there. But let's get into it.
To be honest, I don't know what's really going on. The stuff that she had going on with the other YouTuber that she has beef with at this particular time, all this shit could have been squashed a long time ago.
All about
You know, one of the people that was on the panel doing the apology was saying, hey, do not let the subs, don't let anybody keep this going, other YouTubers. You know what? People have a right to be angry, and they will be angry. They will be upset. They will vent. That's what people do. People vent when somebody that they trust or somebody that they like come off as if they lied to them about who they were. You know, you've been watching a person for years, and all of a sudden you come out and you start seeing another side of the person that you've never seen. A show was okay. You know, a lot of people said a show was better before she brought her husband on.
Let's get into that. What are your thoughts and opinions on Sharrell's world back in the day? It was just her by herself. Then she brings her husband on, I guess, allegedly, you know, she's so okay, this can pop. Let me bring husband in. And we're not gonna let them know that you're my husband. What are your thoughts on that?
She's a weirdo. I'm a true sage, like to the T when it comes to people. If I, she's weird. I don't get why people lie, but I've been telling people, some people have to lie and stuff like that. And I get why people have their reservations about other content creators. But that's why I always say, I never say I'm transparent. I'm just going to tell you I'm not about to lie to you. I don't get paid to lie.
Exactly. Okay. So let's see what Homeboy has to say. We're going to listen to maybe like a little bit more because now I'm curious. Now I'm doing my research. Research. This is, listen here. Let me go ahead and put up this disclaimer right quick because, baby, this is just research. But give me 1 second because we're about to listen to this because this now things have taken a turn.
Mm-mm.
And it was better before she brought all these pounds on. And again, then a lot of people don't like the John Yates situation. I don't know nothing about that or a husband. All I know about is what's going on right now. And I'm going to make sure I know nothing about none of the rest of it. That is being said. I think with these apologies, they need to be sincere. At the end of the video, 3-minute video, she was crying, allegedly. I don't know what that was. I tell a lot of people, when you're being serious, be you. Be who you are. Be honest about it. Go to that person. Talk to that person. Let them know what was said was taken out of either context or it was wrong.
Because that's what adults do. That's what adults do.
But not everybody operates in that space, though.
You know what? Since we might be on to something, you want to start a class?
We can.
You want to start a class? Because seriously, they say that I'm a troll, I'm this, I'm that, but I started out with all of the tea, but look at me now. And it's like, okay, maybe I should share how I navigated through YouTube, got my monetization, how I got myself in order to even be monetized, because it's a process, baby.
It is a process. Listen, I remember when you had to have a certain amount of watch hours.
4,000.
And then so many subscribers before you could go live. And I think that was back in, when did I get monetized? 2020? I got monetized in 2020, right before I went to Asia. And then we got locked down.
Dang.
And then I went up against Kaya because she was flagging everybody for having any type of content, right?
Yeah.
And then, I wasn't mad at it. She kept it strictly business. And I couldn't get, I think it was 60 days. I couldn't get no money.
Yeah, she don't play about that.
So I fought and I was like, damn, we gonna have to go to court. And right before we had to, when they send out like the thing where you're gonna have to get an attorney, it was the day before she dropped it. And so I was able to put my video back up. And my monetization came back on. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now listen, those are your secrets. Let's hear some of Sharrell's.
And I don't know a way you could take that really out of context unless you're trying to come off and, hurt somebody. We got to be held accountable for our actions and the shit that we say and we do. A lot of people want to get off and say everything under the sun about a person. But when it comes back to them, they don't want nobody to say anything. They make up excuses and other things of why, this is happening and why this is the way it is. Why all of this is the way it is because for so long people been getting away because a lot of people been liking this person. Some people pointed out that it wasn't on Sharrell World that she made an apology. It was just on Sharrell's Way and on other forms of social media. I don't know. Like I said, I've been subscribed to this channel, back in the day. And, to see the person make a change and, a lot of people are feeling she's too old for all this drama, she's too sophisticated. You know, I
Listen,
Listen, I thought the same thing.
I really listen. I love the words that he used. It was the sophisticated. It was heavy on the sophisticated.
Because we don't know. I don't understand. I said that. I said, how do you at your big age be, I don't know, you mad? You send people to do your bidding? That's so weird.
I'm just, I mean, but I, you know what? Maybe, wow. You know, I did say that when we come on, this is a character because, okay,
Yeah.
this is a show. We have to, this is, we have people that watch us, they support us, they love us. So we're going to give them a great show. But once we say, hey, this is the end of the show, and then our laptops close, we have a different life.
Yeah.
Or at least I do. I know you do. I mean, but some people, I guess, can't get out of character. What do you think? What do you think?
I like that you said that because I feel like I be myself, but I'm not as raw as I am in real. I'm real raw. I'm very
Like
direct.
with your homegirls,
Yeah.
your besties. Yeah.
But on YouTube, because I know people have their feelings get hurt a lot quicker. It's weird.
Yeah. I noticed that too.
That's why when people be like, "Oh, I love when you drag somebody," I bet you do, because I be coming for the jugular.
Oh, yes. Listen, I don't send for anybody, but if you send for me, oh baby, I'm on you like white on rice.
Mm-mm.
And I ain't gonna drag you. I mean, like in a dirty way. I'm gonna make it fun, you know?
Yeah.
You want to be negative, we gonna make this thing fun, sis. You need to smile, you know? Like, go get you a piece or whatever the case may be. But listen, speaking of getting a piece, and it's after dark. Let's go ahead and get our let's go ahead and get us a commercial right quick. We haven't had one.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to Goddess Tulsa After Dark. This is where you let your hair down, get you a beverage, prop your feet up or down. Now it's time to hit the like. Are you subscribed? Don't forget to hit that cash app because it's After Dark with the Goddess.
So did you prop your feet up or down?
Oh, my feet been down. I'm sitting down.
Yes. I love it. All right, let's listen to Tim right quick. We'll probably listen to a little bit more because now I'm curious. Are you curious?
It just confirms what the people have been telling me.
Let's do it.
when I first started catching the show caught me because it was like a grown person talking about grown things. You may be talking about T.O. and this other stuff, but hell, a lot of us watch shows. And I like their take on it. It was like no nonsense. She was just spitting facts. Now all of a sudden, it's like everything rumor mill, gossips, and it's all of that other stuff. Things change, people change. But why do they change? You gotta change sometimes with the times. But you know what? If you in the wrong, you need to apologize. And you need to be sincere about it. That apology lacked sincerity. It lacked emotion. It lacked a whole bunch of empathy. It lacked every damn thing. It came off as robotic. It was like, I'm losing subscribers. I'm losing my bag right now. I need to say something to stop the bleeding. anytime that you take off your subscriber count, something is going on.
Now, YouTube has it to where you can permanently see the subscribers count, right?
Correct.
So, with that said, Tim, I think you're on to something, but let's get into it.
And like I'm saying, sometimes we need to get all the facts before we make statements, before we jump to conclusions, before, we jump and rush to say something. Because sometimes we all feel like we gotta have the last word. And those last words sometimes are the words that get us. Sometimes those are the things that sometimes backfire on us. And having the last word doesn't mean that you're the smartest or the best. It means that you got the last word. But doesn't mean that it's a good word that you had or a good look to be having. Sometimes you gotta let shit go, roll down your back and keep on moving. If you comment on every damn thing, every smaller channel, every smaller YouTuber says, shit, you won't have time to live the rest of your life. Again, when you're so big, you don't look down. You keep looking up. And
This is a great point, and I know you want to tear off into this potato. Go ahead, sis.
I wholeheartedly agree. I agree with everything he said because that's a grown man speaking to a grown woman, and they're probably in the same age group or demographic or something. And that's why I was like, I thought Sharrell, when he said sophisticated and stuff like that, and she's, older, I was like, okay, I see we see the subs, and it's like, you should be an inspiration. That we having all this mentoring and guidance
Yeah.
for everybody else, but themselves. It's amazing.
Right. Like you should have been the next Iyanla Van Zant, with
Okay.
over 300,000 subscribers. I feel like, like he said, you grow with times, but still have some type of class about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like some respect. I mean, don't just flow with everything that's smoking. Like having people that have bad reputations and you have them on your panel and then you give them a platform. It's like it feels like to me that's an enabler of bad behavior.
Very cloud chasing, very attention seeking. That's why I was just like, you know, uh, I saw that episode with the nosy hoe situation. It was wild. I didn't get to see the all about the tea, but I heard it was wild. Just hearing it was enough for me. I'm big on it. I'm not about to tune into something that doesn't suit me, but everybody's not like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, homeboy is on it. Come on, homeboy. What you got to say?
And I think that's what people fall off at. They don't look the way they're supposed to look, up, not down. I'm nobody's father here on YouTube, and I'm nobody's uncle for real. It's just who I am. And these are just my opinions. This is not fact. This is just my opinion. I believe this situation could have been handled better. I believe people should have been left out the loop. If you made the comments, you should have made the apology alone. It's a lot to be said when there's too many people in a situation. Her show was doing fantastic until she started bringing too many panelists on. It was just too many damn people. And a lot of people are toxic. They love to keep shit going. It's not just the subs, the fans, any damn thing like that. Sometimes it's just the damn YouTuber. Sometimes you get so caught up in having that voice that, you overstep. And, I've been guilty of that. But see, one thing is being guilty of something and understanding what you was guilty of. Knowing if you at fault to call it out.
Are we in church?
Yeah, he's preaching. Like
Let me get an amen.
I just feel like he's on point.
Yes. Wow. I believe, girl, go ahead. Tear off into that vegetable.
No, I'm saying when it's right, it's right. There's nothing you can do about it. When it's right, it's right. Like, did she see that video?
I'm not sure. But you know what? I just believe that we all have chances, right? And we all have room for improvement. And if this was a year ago, and wow, it just seems like, wow.
There you have it.
All right, homeboy, tell us some more. I'm listening. We listening.
I'm not a hypocrite. I tell what I see. People say you don't act neutral all the time, huh? It is. You know, people don't understand the word neutrality. Neutrality don't always mean that you always just, don't got nothing to say about shit. You got something to say about everything. And that's how life is. We all got something to say. But we all want to make sure we say our piece. And we all want to make sure our voice is the loudest for we could be heard. And see, this is what happens with these YouTube channels. They get the filing lawsuits and defamation of character and, people done said this and slander and all. And none of that is real true. It's just, if you can talk about everybody under the sun and you put yourself in that beef sector, that means everybody else can talk about you too. It's not harassment. It's not bullying. If you started it, if you swung the stick or threw the first rock, why would you be mad if somebody swing the stick back or throw another rock at you?
Thoughts?
He didn't lie. He didn't lie. Listen, I'm in full agreement, and because of that, I'm gonna get down in the chat. You know,
Great.
like Tim
Sister,
is
my use along.
Tim is preaching to the choir. Like Queen, you've laid it out perfectly from start to finish. Um, I'm calling from San Antonio, Texas. My positive affirmation is this: when people show you who they are, believe them the first time.
Wow. That's deep. Thank you so much, Couture Babe. When you get off, actually I'm gonna post your channel. Y'all check out the community wall because I'm gonna post Couture's channel to our community wall. Make sure you go over and support this sister. Give her a like, give her a follow, give her a subscribe. And also don't forget that notification bell. Set it to all.
Yes, and thank you for having me up. Continue to lay it out. Like Tim, where was the? If I would have seen this a year ago, I would have never. I would have understood when I made my video about the Wiley. It would have made more sense because I was like, I don't get it. Like I was so confused. I was like, I don't get it. But we don't always see everything. But the fact that this man said this a year ago, Sharrell, you need to, girl, tighten up.
Please.
Okay, I'm dropping down in the chat.
All right, babe.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. All right.
All right, guys. Let's get back on into Uncle Tim.
Shit is what it is. We call it as we see it. I think you should apologize. I think you should do a better apology because this one wasn't good enough. And if I was that person, I wouldn't accept. Because it just seemed like you was trying to save yourself. This wasn't real. This was just you trying to save your bag. And I don't understand why people mess up their bags in order to look better, in order to be bigger. You already won. What's the purpose? I believe this show has too many people on it.
Well, Speaking of too many people on it. Well, this was a year ago, and now, Sharrell is, she said it herself, she is very close friends. Her and Nosey Ho are very good friends. And Nosey Ho is in a lawsuit, and Diane Jenkins then did her number, and she's taking YouTubers to court. And wow, just a year ago. I'm still stuck on a year ago. And to be exact, it was, let me see, July 10th, 2021. Okay, so this is like okay, so July. Okay, so like a year and 2 months. Wow. All right, let's get into it. Uncle Tim, tell us.
I believe maybe it should go back to the way it used to be. Just her. When you start bringing all these panelists on with all their own ideas, their own thoughts and opinions, which grown people do have, and wasn't right, I believe you should have a disclaimer about that. Our views may not match, but this is a channel that we have, where we can sit here and.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense. Now listen here. Couture, you said, so she knows Nosy Ho is on OnlyFans. This is a thing. There were allegations that, oh, I think I seen that live. She was like, she's a hoe, she's a hoe, she's a hoe. Wow. And see, this is the thing, like your homegirl likes to be called a hoe, right? Because that's her thing, that's her profession, that's what she's confessed that with her mouth. She does that type of work, right? We're not knocking nobody that does that type of work. But Sharrell barked up the wrong tree, honey. Miss Diana, honey, I heard she's got an old nasty coin. And she's not gonna eat, child. That's white long money, honey. Okay.
Talk. And that would say a lot. People wouldn't get hurt, saying jump to conclusions and, act without knowing all the facts. That's what it is. But to later, fam, thanks for watching. Peace out.
Well, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Whew. Child, that was a lot. And I'm glad I saved the best for last, honey. Uncle Tim came through and he gave it to us. He served us with his beliefs. And like I said, for this video to be a year old and to see how people are operating through these streets and just how they're navigating overall is really eye-opening. And you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. God does things for a reason. I'm gonna just say that. God does things for a reason. And I'm so glad that my platform is not based off trolling. I did that to get my name out there. Now everybody knows me. Now come on over here. I got your attention. Let's talk about something for real. I really hope that Sharrell gets it together. It's like I get aging backwards, but honey, you got to tighten it up. Uncle said you sophisticated with some dignity, and we need you to have some integrity. Take it back to just you on your channel. Let Perry do his thing. You didn't got him started with his channel. I think he can handle it. He's got it from here. You know, in my opinion, yeah. I've never, I didn't know that you were on the panel by yourself, but like I said, you learn something every day. She enjoys the mess. You know what? She does. And somebody had called it out that she will laugh at something that's not supposed to be funny. But you know what? I can't even blame that sister because I've done that before. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know what girl, I don't know what that is. Oh my God. Girl, somebody was telling me something and it was serious and I just bust out laughing. I don't know what was that. Like, oh my God. Oh, see how I just started laughing? Wow. But yeah, as content creators, I do feel like there is a pushback. Now I got to push back on Sharrell a little bit because Sharrell, you were just saying us content creators, we need to get along and this, that, and the third, and we don't need to sue anybody and we need to talk about it. But then what do? They said you was up at 5 o'clock, 5 in the morning for you, and you was on a laptop going off. Okay. Oh my God. Oh child, they said you was going off on Wiley on a hotline, honey. They said it was the hotline, and I'm gonna make it home to you. You. The Perry was in the other room, child. Lord Jesus. Oh, Lord Jesus. Mm-mm-mm. You know what? I'm not even going to lie. This is my opinion. I feel like before I knew that they was married, I thought they was good girlfriends, like good homegirls. I I thought that. I thought Perry, and that was my thought. But I did because I think Gabor was on there heavy then. Yeah, I think when I was first introduced to them, I did not think that they was married. Um, but and then I thought that, I thought Perry and Gabor were together, I don't know. And now I know, hey, he's married and that's his wife. And I was like, wow, okay. But let's be honest. I had asked my husband the other day. I said, "Do you want to get on my show and we can gospel?" He says, "No." I'm not into that. I said, "I know you're not, baby." I mean, I don't know. I think that's the reason why I have girlfriends and that's the reason why I have my channel. I mean, I'm not going to be sitting up gospeling with my husband. Like, mm, I mean, I'll tell him things, but we're not about to sit up and gossip. And then another thing, people that like to gossip. I'm gonna show y'all. People like when they so excited, they be like, "Oh my God, I got some gossip. Oh, I got some gossip. Oh, let's just gossip." When people are like that, girl, get that run, run. Do y'all like my eyebrows? Get into them, okay? And get into that part. Okay, Chateau Rideau has hold on, let me get myself together right quick. Okay, hold on. Chateau Rideau provided my unit, okay? Chateau Rideau provided this unit, okay? Get into that, get into it. Yes, get into it, my love. Get into it, okay? Guess what? I can roll my hand through it. And this unit is, I want to say, this unit is 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old. And then I have another unit, which is the other one that I had died. Same hair company. This is the jazzy. This is the jazz collection. I know it's a little like puffy. I was like sitting on. Well, I was laying on it. Like laying on it in my chair at the show tonight with my daughter. But yeah, beautiful. I love this hair. I love the brand. She's definitely always came through for me. Like I said, I had it. I had it like twisted up. So, you know, and that's usually how I do it. 3 years, honey. And it hasn't been tightened or anything. But yeah, this is her. Honey, I put her on and I go, honey. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to text her. Oh, actually let me text her and let her know that I'm gonna need a code. Okay. Hey sis, I'm going to need a promo code because I am on right now and I'm promoting Shop. I let them know that this is the Rideau collection. And as I'm talking to you, I am on live. So reporting live from the Queen Tulsa show in your DM. When I tell y'all my sister is so beautiful, here let me show y'all my sister. Cause when you talk about body, baby, here, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all my sister. Let me brag on her real quick. Um, let's see. Mm, let me see. Switch. Okay. I gotta brag on her real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's see. Mm, okay, so let me show y'all. Give me 1 second. Hi, Zebra. How are you, my love? Thank you for coming by. Yes. So this is my sister's hair company. Okay, Rizzo. And this is the Jazzy collection. Okay. Yes, honey. Mm-hmm. Yes, honey. Oh, we can push these up too. Let's go ahead and go to her situation. This is her. Okay. Very beautiful. And yes, she's an AKA. Yes. Lover. Legs and hips and body. Girls giving is that Jennifer Lopez dress girl? Honey, y'all make sure y'all get on over there to Chateau Rideau and get your fix. I'm wait, hold on, let me see if did she hit me back. It's late night, so she'll probably hit me back in the morning. Yeah, she was just on 2 hours ago. So she's probably in the bed getting her beauty rest. And oh my gosh, I gotta have her on the show because I want you guys, I want her to tell you guys all about her accomplishments. And she's actually a queen um, of a, oh, I don't want to miscorrect myself, but she has a crown. Let's just say that. Thank you. I just wrapped it up. Actually, this is where I got my hair from. Chateau Rideau. Yes, ma'am. That's where I got it. Let me see. Yeah, and this is my sister girl. Beats, honey. And this is the HD lace. Yeah, this is HD. I got the HD. And that's the thing. Invest in your hair. It's the crown you never take off. Okay? Listen, invest in your hair, love. Okay? Listen. Oh, yes. And my little sister, she actually sewed my hair. So I bought from my sister's company, and then I sent it to my other sister company to actually make the unit for me. So this is a unit. Hmm. And I watched her. And like I said, I believe it's going on 2 or 3 years that I've had her. Hmm. I invested into my hair. I did. When I got the money, I was like, yeah, I gotta invest into my hair. Gotta invest into that look. Indonesian exotic wavy curly hair. Wave curly hair. Hmm. Excuse me. All right, let's see. Legs and hips and body. Yes. Yes, honey. Yes. Beautiful. Shot the V-Day sale. I really love that picture of her. Beautiful photo. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Would you shop from Chateau Rideau? I'm gonna say, sis, I want one of those for Christmas. Let me see how this. I'm gonna say, girl, give me a sexy for Christmas. Listen here, girl. We're on the show, but girl, that's what I want for Christmas. Yes, honey. All right. I have to let her know that. Honey, that's what I want for Christmas. Okay. Yes, ma'am. All right. Look at sis. Is she doing it? Whoa. It gives me Anaconda video vibes. Okay. Whoa. All right. Sis did that. Yes, she did. Mm-hmm. But yeah, y'all can see all these photos right on over here. And she travels. Yes, ma'am. Yes, she does. Yes. That part. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is the one that I liked as well. Oh, I love this one. I think she did other photos. Okay, yeah, this is just a video. But yeah, child, you can get your hair on over at Chateau Rizzo, honey. Okay. And like I said, this unit has been like 2 or 3 years, love. Okay. I put her on slightly and politely, honey, and I take her off slightly and politely. Um, but yeah, like I said, I have my other unit over there, and I just hang them up. Like if y'all see like the Texas situation like behind me over here, my fingers just like doing the most. Okay, so like right there, y'all see the Texas thing? I just put my units on those hooks. I just let them hang. Okay. But yeah, tonight I just want to say that I'm just, I'm not here to point fingers at anybody. I'm just here to do research, and I'm building my channel, and I'm I do have people that I look up to, and I do go on other people's channel, right? I'm not taking that away from anything, right? But what I do want to say is I don't want, I guess, like, I'm not with all that, and I don't want that like on my channel. Like, I'm not about the drama, and I'm not, trying to take nobody down and all that. Like, I'm all about peace. If y'all ever been over here, if this is your first time coming over, enjoy the show. You don't have to subscribe today, but I guarantee you want to subscribe because we just chill is not a lot going on in a hectic way. Everybody is heard. Everybody can agree to disagree. You don't get kicked off the panel or you don't get looked over because we don't agree. It doesn't work like that over here. I just like to understand, I'm a straight up person. I'm chill, I'm relaxed, but when people start moving away, I gotta see what's going on. Like, okay, and then just know there's a boundary for certain things. Set those boundaries so then I don't set myself up for failure. Because if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I definitely want to thank Sonia Mabia. She gave us a super chat tonight. I definitely want to thank Couture Bay for coming up and giving her thoughts and opinions, and also sharing the spot on the panel as a co-host, And that's what it's all about, guys. Make sure you go and follow her channel. It's Couture Bay. I will be posting it on the community wall. Okay. My thoughts, feelings, and affirmations. My thoughts are, let's keep our thoughts positive. My feelings are, feel those feelings. And my affirmations are, believe in yourself, always put God first, and it's okay to set boundaries and always seek professional help in any circumstance you find yourself in, and you want to turn to somebody else. No, so go seek professional help, because I found that when you sometimes take your problems to someone that knows you, they can't really get you can't really get a real diagnosis because they know you. And it's better to go to someone that's going to be neutral and see it from a different side, because there's other ways to be woke. And we'll leave it there. I'm Queen Tulsa, and we are out.
Hello and welcome. Thank you all for coming by. I really appreciate you. Oh, absolutely. Please like, share, and subscribe. The Goddess Tulsa Show. Welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now is the time to go ahead and get ready for the show. We have some great news for you. Okay? We're going to have a great time. So I really, really, really appreciate you and your dedication to showing up. Gratitude. Don't be afraid to hit that Cash App. And don't forget to smash